Hey all, J-Man here. I just wanted to tell you about beardedshirts.com. It's a great place to get a lot of cool superhero shirts and other merchandise. You can scroll, they've always got sales on. As you can see, they've got these really cool print all over shirts, which I really love. That's Eddie, the founder of the site. And if you're looking for stuff, all you got to do is you click on the search here and you can type in all over. And that's going to show you the all over prints, which are really, really cool. Look at that. You got Legion of Superheroes, you got Brave and the Bold, you got JSA, you got Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, all kinds of stuff. So check out beardedshirts.com. Hello, Legionnaires. Welcome to our wrestling stream. It's whenever there's a pay-per-view, we do one of these. It's a throwback to our weekly Women of Wrestling talk, which we just couldn't continue. There's too much going on in my life. I couldn't watch all the shows. I'm watching all the wrestling shows. I couldn't watch them in time to stream about them. And wrestling is so fast that if you're not on it, you may as well not be doing it because it moves so quickly. I didn't even have a chance to finish Raw. I saw the first bit of Raw with Cody and Rock, so I saw all of that. And even that, I just barely got through that. And I thought, you know what, I got to come stream. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna keep it to the pay-per-view schedule. Before we do that, let's get into what's going on. This Thursday, Transformers Thursdays. I know I told you it was going to be Tuesdays, and then I said it was going to be Thursdays. So it's going to be a Tuesday or Thursday, whenever the heck we can get it. It's probably going to be 2 Tuesdays. It'll be twice a month. We're going to do an 80s cartoon. So we're going to finish Transformers. Once Transformers is done, we're going to do Thundercats. Then after that, we'll see. So this Thursday, Transformers returns. We're going to complete season 2. So that'll be this Thursday at 7 p.m. This Friday, you know what it is. It's Fantastic Fridays, episode 2. The next 4 issues of Fantastic Four. These are bangers. We got Doctor Doom. We got Doctor Doom and Namor. Then we got that Kurgo guy from Planet X. We got Puppet Master. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. So that's this Friday. And that's going to be every Friday. Fantastic Fridays. It's going to be on for a long time until we go through every single Jack Kirby Fantastic Four, which includes the 102 issues plus 6 annuals that he did. So that's going to be every Friday. And then Monday, of course, we're back with the Legion of Superheroes live stream, the Legion live stream. We've got 4 issues of Action Comics. We're really close to getting to Superboy, so just bear with these next few. I think it's this stream and one more stream, and then we're going to be right into Superboy, and those are going to be absolutely dynamic. So you've got to be there for Mondays for Legion. All right, let's give a shout out to our Legionnaires. These are the channel members. So we always thank them before every stream. Dan, Sean, Steven, and Clobberin, who you've seen many times on the stream, or Dan's only appeared a couple times, but you know him. Brennan, you've seen a few times. Cliff, you will see on my Dazzler stream. There is one coming this month, so keep an eye out for the next Dazzler stream. Those are always a lot of fun. RR, buddy, you got your shirt. Great. I'm glad you got your shirt. Philip, you will probably be getting the next shirt. So if you see me, if you're following me on any of my socials, I'll reach out to you for May. So you'll get a shirt for May, and then as we get members, we'll make sure everyone gets a shirt. And then once everyone has a shirt, we'll cycle through and get extra stuff. We'll just keep going. We're going to keep going on it. So there you go. Let's bring in my co-host for this stream. Hello.
Hello. I got my Dark Knight. Dark Knight
Returns.
Dark Knight Return shirt from Beard Shirts, and it is awesome. I wore it this week. It was fantastic, man.
Yeah, there's my Superboy one,
and it's the entire. It's the cover. So
yeah, it's the cover. It's the whole thing. Yeah,
awesome, man.
Yeah, no, it is awesome. So he's sending me a bunch. I don't even know what's going on. He just keeps sending me ones. I'm like, yeah, just send whatever, and Yeah, I'm fixing up my stuff here. I'm fixing up my, so I had a Jack Kirby shelf, but it was so jam packed with stuff you couldn't see everything. So I'm splitting it up into Fantastic Four. I've got enough stuff for just Fantastic Four, and then I'm going to do other underneath, and then the Rob Liefeld shelf, which is right there, that'll go down too, and Kirby will go there. And yeah, that's how and I did go to the comic shop today, so I will be doing a bunch of reviews. Look out for Thundercats, X-Men 97, Action Comics, House of Brainiac starts, Ms. Marvel, written by Iman Vellani, issue 2, Transformers, the hottest book out there right now. Gunslinger, I'm late on that one. I'm not reviewing Deadpool, I got it because it's covering Conan. Conan, I'm behind on Conan, but we're getting there. Let's say hey to the folks in our chat here. FK was here first. Hail, what's going on, dude? And Brian Hepburn, hey, how's it going, dude?
Hey, Brian.
How about, what are you saying? How about
a side quest?
Well, Battle Beasts, they grow into an army. Yeah, I like Battle Beasts. I used to I had a ton of Battle Beasts, and then I sold them, and then I instantaneously regretted selling them. 2 seconds after I sold them, I was like, no, come on.
Immediate seller's remorse.
Oh, the Forever People shirt is cool. Eddie usually messages me, hey, do you want me to send you anything? And I feel awkward like asking him, but he made a special shirt for Clobby. He made 2 special shirts for Clobby. I was like, well, I need to have one of those. So I told Clobby, I was like, sorry, I went behind your back and I said, I need to have this shirt because it's just too awesome. So he's going to be sending me one of those. So that'd be good. Just call me Tim. Tim, like in Holy Grail. Some call me Tim. Unless that's a Battle Beast reference, which I haven't watched Battle Beasts or collected those in like 100 years. Okay, there's a lot to go through. So I did post a poll up for everyone to rate. So WrestleMania 40, we got a 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5. I'm assuming no one's going to give it a 1 out of 5. So far, we got 4 votes. So 2 people voted 4 out of 5, and the others each one got a 5 and one got a 3. From Monty Python, yeah, okay, yes. I have Tim. Oh, you're not gonna see him. He's right there. There's Tim. I've got a Tim Funko right there, and he even came with I think Tim came with the little rabbit.
Yeah,
that attacks everybody.
Rabbit. Oh, it's just rabbit. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's great. I'm 37. Someone turned. Someone just said they were 37. The other, and I was like, "You're not old." I'm 37. I'm not old. So I can't just call you man. We can call me Dennis. I didn't know you were called Dennis. We didn't take the trouble to find out. All right. So we'll just go through Runaway. Yeah. Oh, my wife says this all the time. Runaway. So I started a Facebook group for the Knights Who Say Knee way back. And I was like, in order to join, you have to post a picture of shrubbery.
Yeah.
And then like I think actually like 2 or 3 people joined. I'm like, why do I have this? Like this is nonsense. So I just closed it because it was pretty nonsense. But like, anyways, I just thought it'd be funny. All right. So the first match, baby. So as we go, I'll tell you. We can say if we predict. We didn't do predictions because we didn't have a stream in time for this. So I'll just be honest. I predicted this. I was pretty sure Rhea was going to win. She's just so hot right now. There's no way.
It's that Becky's contract's up, and I think Becky. And I thought of this yesterday because I'm reading her autobiography. I'm reading her memoir now.
Yep.
And I was thinking like this is saying this is probably going to upset J-Man a bit. I think Becky's getting close to the end. When they read your memoir, they kind of look back and they're like, see where they've come from, see where they are, and they're like, really, what more do I have to do in this industry? Like, she became the Triple Crown champion, right? She got the NXT belt, and it's kind of like, or the Grand Slam, whatever they call it, the Grand Slam champion. And it's just kind of like, Becky doesn't have to do anything else, right? Her belt is means nothing for her. She would just be a transitional champion, which I think she deserves more. And Rhea's not dropping the belt until she goes to SmackDown or until Bianca Belair or Jade Cargill come to Raw. That's
Right.
She's dropping the belt. She's not going to lose. Spoiler: she's not going to lose to Liv Morgan at Payback or whatever else.
Oh, right. Right. That's obvious. So they started off with some book quotes. I couldn't. These are long. The problem is if I started noting everything that happened, we would just be all here all day reading. So I only did bullet point.
Yeah.
And like just like like a word or 2 words, and then we'll try to interpret what I wrote. But I put book quotes. Steven and I both have the book. We have a signed copy. We both have a signed copy. We got that from a site. Ronda Rousey has a site. You can get a signed copy by Ronda from the same site. So I was thinking about that. But so they did some book quotes. They're saying that her throat was kind of sore. She had strep throat
and a fever.
And then basically it was a riptide, 3 riptides basically to
riptide into a turnbuckle, then a riptide, a proper riptide. Yeah, she had some of the quotes on her ring gear, like she had them all over her ring gear.
Yeah, I saw that.
This felt a bit like an extended Raw match, to be honest with you. Yes, generally the better matches have multiple finishers where they kick out. For the record, I detest kicking out of finishers. Yeah. I just think it diminishes. I know it's WrestleMania, blah blah blah, but it bothers me because you're telling me that 1 is usually enough to knock out a person, but like I need 3 or 4 at WrestleMania. I guess it does make sense, but it cheapens the finisher to me. This was never in doubt. Rhea winning was always in the cards. Becky is 37 years old now.
She's not old.
Yeah, she's not old.
I'm 37. I'm not old.
But this is Rhea's belt for a while yet, right?
I think so,
until they do Cargill or Bianca versus her, and probably more likely Cargill than Bianca.
Right.
This is going to be her thing. The most interesting thing now going with Rhea Ripley is when is the Judgment Day breaking up?
Yep, that's happening soon. Well, because what's his name's going to go with Delgado or what is it?
Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah. My favorite faction that I can never say the name properly, which is a fail because I own so many luchador movies. I just got Panther Woman, I just got Batwoman, and I just got my 3rd copy of the Rider Santo versus the Riders of Death, I think is what it's called, because they keep changing the name of it. But this is like the best version. I'm not buying it anymore. I'm not buying any more of this movie. I don't even think it's that awesome. But I keep buying the better versions of it. So stop releasing that Santo movie. Release other Santo movies. I'm still missing like 30. But I just got Batwoman. I just got the Panther Woman, and I love that faction. They're great. And so Rey Mysterio is going to go there. We got Priest, who's the champ now.
Yeah.
They didn't get the tag belts, so that's a done. I mean, but anyway, so what do you think of the match just in general then? Like okay.
It's okay. I wasn't dying. I wish they had put up more of a fight, but I guess Becky being sick, she couldn't. I think a Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley match needs to be a decent length because you got 2 of the all-time greats in women wrestling. I mean, Rhea Ripley, I know she's still in her 20s, but she's a great already.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So I wish it had gone longer, but I understood that Becky gutted it out with her sickness. So it is what it is. It's just an unfortunate thing. The match was okay.
As soon as they said her, I knew it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. I'm like, so I actually thought, I was like, this was okay. So it wasn't as good as it should have been, but then I thought it was better than what I thought it would be when they said that she was actually sick. So it's weird. It's like, I went through a bunch of like feelings. I was like, oh, like, I'm like, this is the first match. Oh, here we go, baby. Boom, here we go. And there's like, well, bad news. Becky's been really ill and has a strep throat and all that. I was like, oh man, this is not gonna be good. Then I thought, oh, this is gonna be friggin' 5 minutes or something. And then I'm like, Well, it was pretty good considering. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you like being sick sucks. Like, you just don't want to do anything. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna give you a pass
Yeah.
because you were sick.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
If she wasn't sick, then I would have been like, well, come on, like that, come on, like what
Well,
the heck?
consider the match Charlotte and Rhea had last
Right,
year.
which was friggin' insane, right? Okay. So that's that one. The tag ladder, I didn't even write all the names down because like I don't care about any of these people, to be honest. However, okay, so the tag ladder match, Archer tagged me in. They're like, it's not a tag match. So then Grayson got tossed through the ladder. That was pretty good.
That was like, I'm like, how did the ladder break?
Yeah, that was crazy. DDT through the table, which is good. And then top of the ladder, like from the top of the ladder through like crashes, like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then JD through another table. JD just got like, it's like he took more damage than, well, there was that one match where it was Ric Flair. I can't remember who it was. It was Ric Flair versus somebody, and it was like, it was an old school match with Bobby Heenan and Gorilla. Hey Joe, what's going on? R-Truth is funny. He is very funny. But so there's one match, and then Mr. Perfect was interfering, and then Gorilla Monsoon's like, Mr. Perfect spent just as much time in the ring as Ric Flair. like I'm because like, was JD supposed? What team is he on? Like, the guy's been in this ring now. Like, I'm like, what team? Because I didn't write their names down.
Right.
Because I was like, okay, there's a bunch of guys, and I was like, okay, JD goes through the table. I was like, wait a minute. Where has he been in this match? Like, where? What the hell? I don't like. He came out of nowhere.
He was not in the match, but he definitely
he appeared, and I thought, Janice, because you're writing your notes, and you're like, oh my god, JD, he just got nailed. I'm like, wait, JD, was he in this already? What the heck happened? Like, I'm like, he's not. Oh yeah, he's not wearing wrestling. What? When did he come in here? And it's like, it's all legal. I'm like, you came out of nowhere. Like, who the hell are you? Like, so anyways, I was like, this guy took more damage than guys that were participating in the match. So R-Truth and the Miz, that's a farce.
Yeah, but it's
Theory and Grayson Waller.
It is like the big plus for this match is splitting the titles.
Yes.
I like that because you got a lot of tag teams there now. So I'm very and you had 6 tag teams, and like a bunch of tag teams didn't even make it. So I'm like, you had enough tag teams. So splitting the titles makes sense. Putting the titles on Waller and Grayson Waller and Theory makes sense because those guys have been kind of like the like sung MVPs of SmackDown,
right?
Because they've been on every week, and
they're always trash talking and stuff
and all that, so they deserve that.
Yeah.
Awesome Truth. People just like R-Truth. What can I say? I was sort of rooting for the New Catch Republic because I like both those guys and they put on good shows. DIY, I don't care about. The only thing funny about them is R-Truth thinking they are DX.
That is funny because they had the spray paint thing.
Yep. Judgment Day needed to lose the belts. That was very obvious.
That's good.
Yeah. They had to get the titles off them. Yeah. Absolutely. I did call Awesome Truth Lane, but I didn't call them splitting the titles. That was the one thing I didn't call.
So I did not. So this one, I had no idea who would win. I wasn't sure about splitting the titles at all. I was actually a bit shocked when it was Theory. No, Theory and Grayson grabbed it first.
First one, yeah.
And I thought, oh, they're not getting. I was like, oh, so that actually made the rest of it a lot better for me because then I was like, I didn't know who was going to win. I thought it might be Theory and Grayson because I didn't really have anyone else to pick. But once they won, I was like, oh, this just picked up because now I really don't know what's going to happen. And then I didn't know. And I was like, is R-Truth going to get it? I'm like, oh my God, he's going to get it. What the hell? This is crazy. So it made it better that I wish it would have just spoiled that and said, I wish they would have just said whoever gets it is out of the match and then it continues and then I would have been more excited because I hate this like carrying like 7 belts and like it's just this nonsense.
I don't like it. I didn't agree with
Thanks,
that.
Brian. That's the one. Yes. I'm gonna watch that again. And he's like, Mr. Perfect spent just as much time in the ring as Flair. There's never gonna be a better team of guys. Like it's that Gorilla Heenan or Gorilla Jesse, whichever combinations of those guys. It'll never happen again. Ever.
No, because no one could beat Gorilla Monsoon for shocked outrage.
Yeah,
like Jim Ross was close.
Jim Ross was good. He was
good.
Yeah,
but Gorilla Monsoon, it was just like he had the perfect voice and everything.
Everything.
I just loved like him and Ventura. Like I loved when Ventura would get mad at Monsoon because he's like, well, look what's happening now. Why are you mad at that?
Yeah. Duggan's 2x4. It's like, oh, Jess, it's just, it's like trash hot takes. Come on, Nerd Man. It seemed Ethereum won the first belts.
Yeah.
Around.
That is
yeah, that was weird.
He did stand around. I'm like,
we'll confirm that with our close personal friend Rachel.
Weird.
Yeah, I agree, Rachel. It was weird. It was weird.
I feel like they had to make this a ladder match because otherwise no one cares.
Will you stop? Will you stop? I wish I could have met Gorilla Monsoon.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
That would have been so awesome.
I might have actually got tears in my eyes.
No, I actually would have, and I'm thinking about it now. I mean, oh man, it's just like because that them talking made it so good. Look, Michael Cole's been there a long time, so that's great for Michael Cole.
Yeah, he's good. He's grown on me.
Yeah. Oh, hey, how's it going, Papa Wheelie? Cole is very close to Jim, better than Gorilla. Oh man, no, Gorilla's my. But
Gorilla, man.
Gorilla was like my whole childhood, and like his voice and like Mean Gene and all those guys. Michael Cole's very good. He's been there now for a long time, man. I remember when he started.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah, so good. Who's the legal man, Gorilla? Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. These clowns have no gimmicks personality. Yeah. LA Knight is Al.
Well, this is why, like, this tag team challenge had no heat. That's why they had to make it a ladder match.
Yes,
correct. Otherwise, who cares? Like, half these teams, like, really, like, as much as I like New Catch Republic, I like almost everyone. I seriously don't care about DIY. I don't get the appeal at all.
Yeah.
But every other team, wow, Judgment Day, it's just very iffy. I don't remember who the other team is, so obviously I love them.
Hey, Joe Dog.
Yeah,
this is WrestleMania Endgame. Like everybody appeared. I almost appeared. I was like, I'm going to appear. I was like, that's it. I'm going down and I'm going to help you out. It's this one was okay. This match, like on it's
all right. It was good. Making a ladder match made it better.
Yeah.
They had some crazy spots. Splitting the titles though was the big winner for me. I super endorse that.
Yep. Then we had Dom and Santos Escobar versus Andrade and Rey Mysterio. Look, I'm a big luchador thing. It's because of watching the Santo films, and I subscribe to CMLL and AAA, and I watched AAA gives you free Triple Mania. They do free pay-per-views. They're like 10. It's like 3 hours. The Triple Manias are free. You can watch them on YouTube. It's really good. Elektra Lopez is oh my god, she is the greatest wrestler of all time who ever lived. So
she came out. I'm like,
oh my god.
Like I don't even know. Like if I had to walk down the ring with her, I'd be like, I'd need like a cold shower as soon as I hit the ring. Yeah,
she's like impossible. She needs to be the. I will write this. She needs to be the next Batwoman in that. If they remake the bikini Batwoman, that needs to be her.
Yeah.
And you could even have. And I was thinking they she should have a partner, and her partner could be Zelina Vega.
There you go.
Because she's good too. But I love all the luchador stuff. Delgado del Fantasma.
LDF. You could just say LDF.
LDF are yeah.
Legado del Fantasma.
Legado del Fantasma. Oh my god. Trish is the best ever. Stop it. Trish is
Trish is impossible,
dude. Well, Steve met Trish and had her autograph. I've met Trish and Lita. I got pictures right up there. I'm gonna share my picture and you can see if you haven't been on. Oh, we missed a couple of guys. Oh yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
The Rock and there were 3 midgets. No charisma. Oh, of course. Well, The Rock is The Rock. But okay, so you're saying grew up with Gorilla 2, but it's just Jim 1A, Gorilla 1B, and Gorilla is 2. Oh, come Papa Wheelie. Come on, help me out here.
No. Can't agree with you on that. Well, all 3 are great, so we can agree on that.
So sorry, Dragon Lee Andrade gets 2 race tag versus
Charlotte. Yeah.
Oh, right. He is married. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Joe Doc still hates John Cena, right? Well, anytime Elektra Lopez is there, I'm only watching for where she is. So I miss all matches. Like I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Hey Ethan, how's it going? So I'll have to trust your opinion. Was it a good match? No, it looked okay. Look, Rey Mysterio is awesome. Andrade's okay.
No, you know what, J-Man? You know what? Obviously, Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio didn't have the juice. That's why they included Dom for cheap heat. Because Santos is not succeeding in either heel or face. He's better.
I don't know why. I kind of like him.
He just I don't know why. It's just he's very like he's just generic. Like he's got 2 generic heel sidekicks. The only one of that group who has any pop is Elektra Lopez. And on the other side, Rey Mysterio, his best days are behind him. I'm sorry, like his best days are behind him. Andrade is new. He has nothing behind him. Dragon Lee is exciting.
He is exciting.
You should have had Carlito because Carlito has more backing. I have no idea why he wasn't there. The 2 other guys, Wild and Del Toro, no one cares about them.
Yeah.
And Zelina Vega's cute, but she's not a physical threat.
I know. I feel sorry for her. She needs to be. She's like an action figure.
She's an action figure, exactly.
There's me with Trish and Lita. So there you go. That was a great day.
But it was a great day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. So this was not a great match. I think they tried to salvage it with including Andrade, including Dominic, but it's a very flat feud. No one really cares about LDF and LWO. Really, they don't. Sorry.
Yeah, they don't. It sucks because, like, I want them to be better just because I do like the luchador stuff, and I always find it to be very exciting. I think you know what I like Santos he looks cool. There's like a thing with me too where like I like the style of kind of like, you know, what he's wearing and everything. I'm like, yeah, he looks kind of like a cool guy. And then just like there's not really much going on to get them too excited or whatever. Nope. So yeah. Did we miss anybody? Dragon Lee is legit injured. Yeah, I guess he might be because like why isn't he here?
Well, this is going to sound silly. I would hope that's the case. I hope they wouldn't do a last minute swerve for no reason, because if they did, that would be insane.
Yeah.
Like announce the guy in and then he's not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great point, Brian, because Ray's beating everyone and he's not the same Rey Mysterio. He has lost a step. I'm sorry.
For sure.
He demands like almost 50. Or if not 50. Like I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Dom is still building. Look, I like Dominic Mysterio. I mean, I see that you're not yelling. It doesn't matter publicly. It's fine.
Well, he needs the next evolution of his character.
Correct. Yeah. Carlito turn coming. Oh, yeah.
I believe so. Yeah. He needs one. He's not
a fan. Joker 2 trailer. Okay. Well, I did see Lady Gaga in concert. It was pretty damn awesome. I'll say that. That match was just for Mania. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say WrestleMania night 2 is 9 out of 10. I would have gotten a 10 if I knew when Kevin Owens got the United States Championship from Logan Paul. Well, I knew Logan Paul was going to win.
Yeah, me too.
Mohammed, what's going on, dude? I've been no longer to WrestleMania, and the trigger string that was awesome. We'll talk about that. And you weren't yelling. Yep, we got that. All right.
Yeah. So in this match, I guess we called it. I didn't even really care enough to do a prediction on that one.
Well, I knew we were gonna. I mean, like we knew Ray was gonna win that.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Jay, I knew Jay was gonna win 100.
Me too.
So what do you think? This is God. I don't care. My problem is I just don't care about this at all.
You know, yesterday, like I watched, not yesterday, like today I watched a Raw because PBR.
I didn't get a chance to finish Raw.
I watched it and like the crowd goes nuts for Jay, and
they do.
I'm just like, he's kind of fun, but I don't get. And this feud was whatever, and this was one feud I think had a natural story behind it, which is brothers fighting. Like it was so easy to do, but it was just very whatever. I mean, Jimmy Uso is sort of the forgotten member of the Bloodline, and Jay is sort of the forgotten member of the other team. But like people mark out when they see him and when his music hits, but otherwise no one thinks about him.
Yep.
And this match, I will say this match gave us a little bit more, or tried to give us a little bit more. There was a little bit more psychology, a little bit more of a story behind it. Jay was sort of pausing, he doesn't want to fight his brother. They did all that, which is cool. But at the end, I don't care. Like, first of all, Jay was going over, and B, I really didn't care. Like, this was the match. I cared a little bit more about this one than Rey Mysterio versus Santos, but like very little, like just like a smidge more.
Yeah, but there's no Zelina and Elektra, so then I cared a little bit less. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fine. I just can't. I don't know. I just don't care at all. So I cared about Bex and Rhea, and I knew Rhea was going to win. And then the rest of it, I didn't really care at all. Now I got to Damage Control, so we used to do the women's wrestling stream. So obviously I care about Damage Control. Jade, Naomi, and Bianca look good. All three of them look good, like physically, like they look good. Like their outfits and all that. Damage Control. Dakota is still like
terrible.
Like
I'm sorry. I want to love Dakota Kai. I really do want to love her.
Me too, because she
her
seems very neat.
Talking, and I love Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
But she gets in the ring, and I just go, oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just no, it doesn't work. Kyrie and Oscar are obviously better, but Kyrie and Oscar are not okay. Kyrie it has an interesting look. She has absolutely no character.
Yeah, zero character.
Oscar should not be a heel. 100% should not be a heel. And Oscar's getting close to the end. You can tell. She's
going to be done. Yeah. And the thing is that people just like Oscar anyways.
Yeah.
It's like she feels like she just needs to just be herself and do her thing. And I don't know. It's just not working.
Nope.
Like Damage Control, the way it is now, it's not happening for me.
Nope. I agree. They try and put them over. They control the division. I'm like, but do they?
Do they though? No, not really. Like Rhea could beat anybody in 2 seconds. It's like
like just not.
Yeah. The crowd barely cared about the Usos, and they did.
Yes,
like 30. I know.
30 super kicks at each other.
Super kick. I don't. It didn't work this time, right? So.
Yeah, agreed, Brian.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
I'd love to have 20 I love cheeseburgers, but I'll be in the bathroom all day if I have more than if I go to McDonald's and get like I would get like 3 cheeseburgers or like 2 double cheeseburgers. Yeah. That's it for the night.
Yeah. We won't see J-Man again.
A lot of reading gets done. McDonald's is sponsoring a book club. I read this entire Fist of the North Star after one McDonald's.
Well, McDonald's is getting our youth to read. You can say that.
That is true. So yeah, I mean, yeah. Look,
No,
we knew Jade Cargill was going to come in
I
and
mean,
beat and win or whatever, right?
Damage Control got in almost no offense. It just got blown out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just, I don't know. Jade Cargill should not be a face. I know people cheer and that, but she has just got dominant heel written all over her. Like she comes out and it's just like it's like Charlotte. She's a natural heel. I think. I don't think she's a face.
And then now we had like it's like it's similar body types to Bianca, right? So similar body type, like really muscular and like and so why do you have two of them that are the same? It's just like almost like I'm not saying they're the same, or I do like both. I actually really like Bianca Belair a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I think she's just awesome.
She is the EST.
She is the EST. She's awesome. And then also in real life, she's a very nice person and a good role model for children, for girls and all that. I do like the hair spinning thing. It works for her. She's also very pretty. So, and she's muscular too. Like she's got, so she's like a total package. And I like Jade Cargill, but I don't know Jade enough. So this was my prediction. I thought Jade Cargill turns on them and takes over Damage Control, because I felt like Bayley left. Bayley's my second favorite. And once Becky leaves, she'll be my favorite. I still love Bayley. We'll talk about it. But I thought, Jade will turn on the two girls and then she'll be the new leader of Damage Control and they'll change their look around a little bit. And then none of that happened. I thought, and then I was like, was I a complete moron for thinking that? Like,
no, but I toyed with the idea too. But the reason I toyed with that idea was I just didn't want what we saw. And I knew what we saw was what we were going to get, because they now need to showcase Jade Cargill, because they have hyped her out so much. They need to make her dominant. She fought Chelsea Green last night for like 30 seconds. They need to do that. And I'm fine. Like Jade Cargill looks amazing. So yes, if a woman walked into the Performance Center looking like that, you're damn right I'm going to make her a dominant whatever. But again, I've always said that wrestling's at its strongest, and we saw it again this weekend when you have extremely strong heels. The women's division in WWE, I can't consider Rhea Ripley a heel because people cheer her, even though she does heel things. They cheer her relentlessly. Who's the heels? Damage Control? They get smoked.
Yeah, like, Nia Jax. Like, who else is there? Like,
yeah.
I can't think of anybody.
No.
Like Nia Jax.
The best woman heel in the WWE right now is Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Who is a 22-year-old, 5 foot nothing.
Nothing, yeah. Because Tiffany Stratton may as well not be a heel now either. Like,
well, Tiffany disappeared. Like, you want Jade versus Tiffany? That's an interesting match.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
But Bianca versus Tiffany, that's an interesting match. Two hyper athletic women fighting. Where are we getting that? They need no one's talking about this, but the women's division needs a reset.
Yep, they do. Damage Control will be done after the draft. All right,
I agree. It's
Dakota.
What did he say, Steve?
I'll get to that. Sorry, it jumped on me.
Too early to be faced.
Too early. Let's see. We'll see. They got with her. Jade's awesome interviews. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre during WrestleMania last night was awesome. Oh, we're gonna get to that. Question: do you think is going to return? Okay, who do you think is going to make a return for Cody Rhodes? Did he throw? I don't know. I didn't see Raw. I saw Rock come on. They talked a little bit, and Rock, I guess he's not going to continue a feud right now. So I think at this point there is no one to fight Cody Rhodes yet. Or did you see all of Raw, Steve, or no?
I don't know what the hell happened to my cam. I did watch.
I hear you though. So
yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. Just 1 second. I'm still here.
Okay. So I'm not sure. I didn't see Raw. I don't think they did anything.
They didn't introduce anything. No one's fighting Cody right now.
The Amateur should be babyface group. Yeah, maybe. Dom, the best heel in WWE. Yeah, no, women's. He's talking about women's heel. Rock is off film. There you go. Yeah. I like Dominic Mysterio. The second he turned heel, I immediately liked him. So if I don't think a lot of those streams should still be there. I had to remove a few streams because I got copyright hit on them because we showed clips and stuff. So that's why we're not showing clips now. But I like Dom. So okay. Yeah, we knew Jade was gonna just beat them up or whatever. So we had Sami Zayn and Gunther. Sami Zayn won. He's the new champion. That brainbuster was pretty good. And then it was 600 something days with Gunther, and now it's Sami Zayn. So what do you make of all that? So I didn't do a prediction with this one because I honestly didn't know. I wasn't sure. I didn't know enough about the backstory of like, okay, should they get rid of this title now? Has Gunther held it long enough to say that he's, because what's Honky Tonk Man's he beat Honky Tonk Man. So I guess that was his time, right?
Yeah, I was wrong with this. I'll be honest with you. The wrong guy fought Gunther. It should have been Chad Gable. I think that one was a better story.
Yeah, I agree.
They tried to do their best. Chad was, training Sammy and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And that's fine and good. But I don't like Sami Zayn as being the guy to dethrone Gunther, only because Sami Zayn's star had been greatly devalued over the last while. What do you do with Gunther now? What do you do? Because I mean, honestly, his character is very different from any other character in WWE, which is good. But where does he fit in? Does he fight Cody next? I think you have to keep him in the main event or make him a main eventer. But does he dethrone Cody Rhodes? Probably not. Do you really want to throw Gunther in as a guy until we get to The Rock? I wouldn't. Like, this is weird now to me because as much as you needed to get the belt off Gunther eventually, is this the right opponent? Is this the right time to do it? That's my question. I honestly think he could have gone a bit more. I was hoping that Chad Gable would do it because it just that match he had with him, and then people were behind him. He was actually the perfect underdog against Gunther. Sammy, they went too far with the training and all that. I'm like, they're doing all this stuff. Kevin Owens is at the front. Go get him. I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna win. He did. And I like Sami Zayn. I like him a lot.
I like Sami Zayn also, but I think Gunther now is like Sami Zayn didn't need to win that, and now Gunther is trapped in this weird void. He's too good. What's he gonna do? Just beat Sammy on the next pay-per-view and take it back? It's like what would be the point of that?
Why would you do it? Like I'm baffled by this entire thing. I honestly feel you needed to give it to Chad Gable.
To win.
But yeah, I didn't want Sammy to win either, Brian. I didn't see a point. I literally didn't see a point. They haven't really he beat all these guys, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus and all these guys.
The number of the beast.
There you go. So yeah, I didn't like this one at all. So
this is not shaping up to be too good here because there's been a lot. It's like I think night 2 is where a lot of stuff goes down. Ethan would Triple H does triple threat match. Randy Orton versus The Rock versus Cody Rhodes inside Hell is a wow. I mean, I don't think that's just not going to happen. I think The Rock's done. I don't know what's going to happen with Randy, which we'll talk about. First, you thought Sammy botched.
Yeah, I thought he did too.
Yeah. It was funny too because I needed someone to tell me that that's what was happening. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
It was a weird finish because it was supposed to be in the turnbuckle, but I think if you saw it, his head went nowhere near
it.
It seemed. So
yeah, I didn't fact check our announcers on that one. All right, so Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus The Rock and Roman Reigns. I knew
Yeah, it was going to be Rock over Cody.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it for sure because
they had to do that.
They had to because they built this whole thing up too much, so that had to happen. Okay, so I have a few extra bullet points than normal here. So yeah, Roman Spears, Rock, that was funny.
Yeah.
Then there was like a double pin. Like what the hell? That was random. Cody Rock Bottom on the table. That was cool. Roman Spears Seth to the barrier. That was pretty crazy. Then the Rock uses the belt, and then Cody speared by Roman. I mean, this my notes were nonsense. Like, and then Rock Rock Bottom to Cody, and then the People's Elbow, and then Rock pins Cody, and you're like, okay, this is a weird match because you know for sure the Rock is not going to get. This is like one of those logic. You ever do those logic problems where it's like Sam has $5,
mm-hmm.
and then Jill has $1 more than Sam, but $2 less than Bill, and then it's like Jonathan has $7, and then Jonathan has less. So it's like one of those. So I'm like, okay, well, Seth Rollins is not going to pin anyone in this match.
Nope.
So I'm like, The Rock is probably going to have to pin someone, but Roman Reigns can't get pinned because that would really, really be stupid for the right. So it's like you start doing this like logic problem. Like, okay, the only logical conclusion is between one and two things.
Yeah,
Rock pins Seth or Rock pins Cody.
Yeah,
that's the only two options you're left if you look at what could happen. So then you're like, well, if he pins Seth, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Right. So then he's
got to pin Cody.
Right. I hate what I call these logic problem.
Yeah.
Like events where you're like, well, like this can't happen. So therefore so it's exactly one of these logic puzzles. And I'm like, okay, so I saw, except it's easy because there's only 4 people involved and Roman can't get pinned. That's guaranteed. Right?
The only thing that was interesting to me in this match was how far The Rock would go. Like
The Rock's told everyone to F off on Raw last night. That was crazy. Anyways,
he literally, like, how much of a psychopath? Like, is he going to be the next iteration of the Authority, Vince McMahon sort of thing, the final boss? He's throwing out the TKO stuff. He sort of embraced that role. But how far is he going to go?
Right.
Because here is a man who is recognizable around the world. His music hits, people immediately go bananas.
Goes after Damian Priest.
He should go after Priest title. I like Damian Priest as the champion. We'll get to that, but I like him as champion only because you can put anyone against him, and it's credible. Case in point, Jey Uso.
Right.
But anyhow, that was my only interest. Like, how far was he going to go? And The Rock embraced it big time to the fact that you wanted to see him get his ass kicked.
Right. Even though I still kind of liked him anyway.
yeah. But he's become that heel character who is just like, that boss, that arrogant boss character. The one thing too was shocking me was how profane he was during the match, and I was catching everything.
Right.
And I was like, dude.
And Cody's mom is yelling.
Yeah.
I know, dude. Okay, there's a lot.
Yeah.
When I'm like, this thing is over 4 hours. Like, what is happening in my life right now that this needs to be over 4 hours? And first they play a vignette or whatever, and then it's edited well, granted, and it's like, oh, and you're right, and then it's like entrance. I'm like, oh my god! And it's like
The Rock takes 10 years to walk to the ring because he's got to look around because he's not sure where he is.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
just keep going straight.
Just keep walking, Dwayne. Like, come on, like get to the ring.
There is a lot. If they just went in, if they pulled an Ultimate Warrior and just ran in, WrestleMania would have been 2 hours.
Oh yeah, the Ultimate Warrior knew how to use his time.
And then he's all out of breath.
Yeah, he's all. He'll never make another Ultimate Warrior.
No, because he's just insane.
But like, I may be in the minority here, but I'm glad The Rock is gone for one thing. We don't have 45-minute segments on SmackDown and Raw anymore. Like it's just on and on. Like the crowd is yelling at him. He's looking around and he's just smiling. And I'm like, we get it, Rock. People know who you are. You get a reaction. Now get on with it.
Why do you think I PVR it?
Yeah.
I fast forward like because I'm sitting there because I'm fast forwarding and my wife's like, do you even watch wrestling? I'm like, yeah. I said, don't worry, I know when to stop. It's like this Raw. Fast forward. It's like recap. I already know everything. Fast forward. Then it's like Triple H comes in. Fast forward. Triple H is like, okay, hey everybody. Okay, start watching it. He says his thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, introducing Cody Rhodes. Fast forward. He walks around a little bit, kneels down. Thank you. Yeah. Hands the mic over. Play.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Like literally, and I'm like looking at the time, like it's been 25 minutes. Like nothing's happened.
I know. I do the exact same thing, Jay. Yeah. I sit there and I'm like, and The Rock kept faking me out because he bring up the mic and then he drop it. I'm like, no, talk. Damn you, talk.
Yeah, talk. I know. See, we went to Raw. So Steven and I went to Raw with when Edge had his, I guess, second last. Well, it was like his. It was exactly to the year before he left.
His last Raw match in Toronto, I guess,
or whatever it was. Yeah,
because the other one was SmackDown.
The other one's So it's yeah, and I mean, and it was pretty. Like it's pretty awesome when you're there. But ours didn't have as much of this like talking or whatever.
Well, I think it's just The Rock. Like he comes out, and I think when The Rock came back, the writers were like, "Oh, thank God, we got 45 minutes covered with him just coming out and looking around, and like raising the microphone to his mouth 100 times." Like, yeah, that's literally what it was. He was like one of those robots. You hit the button on the back, and you like opens his mouth and does it.
Yes, to finish the story. We'll talk about this hot takes when we get to night 2.
He's not faking his injury.
No, he's not. He's not faking it for sure. And we're gonna get to that Royal. Yeah, I know.
It's the ultimate word. No, it's just a sweaty man.
Yeah, that man, that was in our neck of the woods. I was like, yeah. All right, so that was night 1. So night 1 wasn't as pumped up because
no.
I mean, I guess I'd like seeing Rhea and it was funny too because Rhea and Becky ended up being one of my more favorable ones. That was pretty good, well, injured or she's not feeling well, and then I'm like, okay, I guess that was kind of the one I liked the most.
The most exciting match, other than the main event, was probably the tag team match.
Yeah, which I didn't care at all about.
Yeah,
and then I but they did do a lot of damage with the ladders and chairs.
So I think they really knew how to run that one, and they had the guys to execute it. So
right, all right. Let's talk about Sunday. Seth versus Drew. Okay, so this is all over the place. Okay, so there's lots of like.
I called this entire thing, by the way.
The entire thing, yeah. So I knew Drew was going to win, but then I was like, oh, here comes Damian, and boom. Yeah. He stomped it. So there's like stomping through the tables and the claymores, and then there was a clear Drew won. Then CM Punk was there being a dick, and then fight it out, and then Damian versus Drew. Here comes Damian Priest. Oh my God, Damian catches it. Oh my God, Damian Priest is the new thing. So what's going on with Drew McIntyre? Like, is he done, or is he continuing on, or what's going on?
His contract's up.
Yep.
I don't know when it's up, but it's sometime in the summer.
Right.
I think he was trying to test drive his character to see if he liked him enough to keep him, because he's been mentioning it a lot of times, and it is legit. He is away from his family. He does miss his family. He's missed a lot of things.
Hey, Jordan, thank you for popping in.
Does JB Damien for the title? I don't think.
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't do it. The great thing about Damian Priest is Drew McIntyre is right. He is a transitional champion, I believe, but I don't think you make him lose to Jay. I think you have to make him lose. Who the hell would Gunther? Maybe Gunther. That's a good pick.
CM Punk's gonna be out for a while, man.
He's going to be out for a while. But yeah, I think this entire match I think it worked because Drew McIntyre has embraced his character, and he's such a he's texting on his wife's phone before the match. I'm bored at work, LOL, stuff like that. And I think he just sold the story with him and CM Punk really well. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, Seth Rollins is legit burnt out. He needs a few weeks off. But the guy did a yeoman's job when he was champion. I mean, he's been like carrying that.
Oh my God. It's like, I know, like the guy's like just killing it.
So I really, kudos to him. I think Drew is he's one of the more interesting heels there is because his heel turn is understandable. He's not just like a guy, like he's getting frustrated and all that. And he's like, why are all these guys getting me? Why is it okay for Jey Uso to be invited back? Like everything he's saying is legit, which I think is a more interesting heel turn. I love him fighting with CM Punk. I would like to see them wrestle. If Drew does not resign WWE, that's probably his last match in WWE is with CM Punk. Right. We'll see how it goes. But I did, as banged up as Seth Rollins was, I did enjoy this match.
Yeah. All right, what do we got here?
But it helps CM Punk was on commentating. Like CM Punk is awesome.
Yeah.
Commentating. So.
Okay, they're not related, I bet. Okay, so we're missing okay, so hold on.
Stephanie.
All right, so here's where we're last left. Is the worst booker in WWE has nothing doing Oh my God, Nerd Man! Look at this guy. It is Hot Takes Tuesday, and it's Tuesday.
Hot Takes Tuesday.
It literally makes sense. Welcome home, Stephanie. Yep. I mean, get Rock like Roman is his cousin, but like the kid's a mid Carter, slightly better looking, less intimidating. Oh my God,
he's all booking.
Yeah, they're not related. Actually, just in the storyline. Night 1 was 9 out of 10. Wow, I don't know if I would go 9 out of 10 on night 1. Zera breaking the fourth wall, no gimmick wrestling. But yeah, because of the gimmick, yep.
So basically, ever in the Rock, Nerd Man likes no one.
Yeah. We figured that too. Yeah. The best and then Jake the Snake the wrong line. Why? Because it doesn't matter to fight. Yeah, that's true. Okay, there you go. Match was fixed. It was fixed. It was all fixed. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm being sarcastic yet.
Yeah.
Stephanie McMahon is the best night of part 2. Yeah. Okay, who gives an F about Mike's skills in combat sports? It seems like I'm the best on the mic. Has a T-shirt and idiots. Yeah. So I'm not I wasn't there for any of the CM Punk hype.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know about this guy. So I was into wrestling for a long time, since WrestleMania 2 to about maybe 20 or 25 or something or whatever it was. Never missed anything, like not one pay-per-view, not one event on TV, never missed it. And then I kind of got out of it. And then for about, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so, we just watched the WrestleManias. Like we'd all get together and go watch the WrestleManias together. And then I got back into it a few years ago. And now I'm back to watching everything. Now, when we got back into it, I was with just doing the women's division stuff, but now we're watching all of it again. So I'm back in again. So I was out and I went back in. So during my time off of wrestling, I missed all the CM Punk stuff. I missed all the Bray Wyatt stuff. Who else did I miss? Was there anyone else big that I missed? Because when I came back in, everyone's like, oh, dude, wait till Bray Wyatt comes in. I was like, okay. And then he came in. And, okay, obviously we know what happened. But he came in. I was like, this guy's not that great. And then people were saying, oh, CM Punk, man. Yeah, here we go. And then I'm like, I don't like this guy. I just don't care about him. And then I needed to see what they would do with him. And now he's injured. So now I'm back to not caring about him because he didn't do anything.
Bray Wyatt as the Firefly Funhouse guy and the feed and all that was
awesome, right?
That was awesome. And but my favorite was still the leader of the Wyatt family. Like that to me he was awesome. Like bringing Lantern, he's got a rocking chair like he just was that character from Cape Fear, right? That Max Cady character. So,
yeah.
And unfortunately, they botched that entire thing. Like, he should have been exceptionally dominant, and he wasn't. He lost all the time, and there was no reason for him to lose. Like, it just didn't make any sense. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we'll check. I'll check that out. It was definitely an unexpected return. Oh, okay, yeah. It's definitely, yeah. I like Kurt Angle. I also like Kurt Angle. I also like Mankind. I also like Stone Cold. I like Dean Ambrose. I like Bray Wyatt. I don't know about enough. I like Ultimate Warrior. Obviously, Macho Man's like in my top 5.
You know what?
So there you go.
Yeah.
He likes Punk since Ring of Honor. And before I go, just a quick question: you both. I don't know where I can. I don't know. I don't watch it. I don't know where it is.
And it's not because we wouldn't watch it. It's just there's too many. There's 3 WWE shows plus all the other things we watch. We only have time for one wrestling promotion. It's got to be WWE.
Yeah, and plus also, I mostly stream about comic book stuff and geek culture. This is a section of geek culture, I suppose. This stream is a Steven and I want to just do a fun stream and not get to, because most of my streams are reviewing comic books, going through, some news and stuff like that, which always gets me into trouble with people. So I just want to do a stream where I'm just having fun and I don't have to worry about someone saying I'm an idiot or whatever, because of everyone's going to now put idiot in the chat if you think I'm an idiot. Hashtag
idiot.
So anyways, so we had Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament. That's what it.
Yes.
All right, cool, man. Thanks for popping in, Joe Dog.
Thanks, Joe Dog.
I mean, there is just massive amounts of weapons in this thing. Like this looked like Streets of Rage, the video game, or Double Dragon or something. B-Fab and Scarlett through the table.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, Bubba Ray as the. I mean, who hires Bubba Ray as
a referee?
Spear splash through the table.
Yeah.
So Bobby's obviously Bobby won. Snoop Dogg was there. And he's like, yeah, Snoop Dogg was pretty funny.
I liked him on commentator.
I thought he was pretty funny. I was like,
he was really, really good, actually.
Yeah, he was. One time he's like, suplex. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, he's like that. Yeah.
He was good.
It's fun. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I really enjoyed Snoop Dogg on commentating. I was kind of like, can he stay for the rest of the night? Like,
yeah. Well, when I first saw him, I thought, oh man, this is going to be brutal.
Yeah.
But then he was so funny. I was like, this guy's pretty funny.
Great, man. I'm like, Snoop Dogg, bring him back, man. Like, immediately.
Yeah, he was good.
Again, another match they knew they needed help with. Why get Snoop Dogg in? Why get Bubba Ray Dudley back in as a referee? Like, you're right, it makes no sense. It's because there's no juice between these two teams. They've been fighting for a while. No one cares. And no one cares because Bobby Lashley is better as a singles wrestler.
Yes.
Having him with the Street Profits, who I think is just make them a tag team again. I didn't see any problem with them. I didn't think they needed a reverse or anything. Their heel turn went nowhere because no one wants to boo Bobby Lashley and no one wants to boo the Street Profits.
I don't even understand how they became heels. It was so weird because a lot of these, like you're watching. I forgot if they're on Raw or SmackDown. I don't remember what they're on. So I'm watching. I'm like, oh yeah, the Street Profits. Oh, they're bad guys now. Like, when that happened? Like, it's just so dumb.
They tried to do this whole thing that Bobby Lashley was going to elevate them to beyond where they've been before. It didn't work because tag teams only have this ceiling, and that's it. Right. Edge and Christian were a great tag team. Oh, don't watch it. Yeah, I hope so. Because neither side needs one another. Tag teams are going to be only have this level. That's it. Right? Think of Edge and Christian. They were a great tag team. They won multiple tag team belts. They did not achieve their stardom until they became singles wrestlers.
Right.
That is generally how it works. If you're a tag team person, you're only going to get so high, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. British Bulldogs, Demolition, you can go on and on, Road Warriors. all these great tag teams that were in main events and stuff. There's nothing wrong with being a tag team throughout your career. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You don't need Bobby Lashley. Like, Street Profits are already awesome. You don't need Bobby Lashley. So that makes no sense. Final Testament, first of all, AOP does not speak. They have no speaking. They have no characters.
Right.
Paul Ellering is a Hall of Famer. He managed the Road Warriors. I don't know what he's doing. He's walking around with a white glove with
it's nonsense.
Like, it's just weird. Karrion Kross has hit everything he can with his character. He needs a character reset in the worst possible way. He could be an Undertaker-esque character. He could fit that mold, but he's stuck with this like weird and he's doing these videos and like he's hit his ceiling. That's it. He's not going anywhere with this character. He needs a reset. Get away from the AOP. Both teams need a reset. No one cares about any of them. Yeah. That's why you need Bubba Ray Dudley and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, Scarlett's pretty amazing though.
Scarlett is amazing.
But yeah, they just need to like fix that whole thing up.
Yeah.
All right, then we had LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Yeah, so LA Knight removed the floor mats and boom, he got nailed on that.
He got nailed on it.
He got the blunt force trauma.
Yeah.
LA Knight was going to win.
Yeah.
This was LA Knight's first WrestleMania, right? Yeah.
It was, yes.
So yeah, we we knew LA Knight was going to win. He's like so like over. I mean, was there anything? This felt. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this one. You know, I like AJ Styles. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. My heart, there was just something like I just felt like my heart wasn't in it. I'm like, yeah, LA Knight's just going to win.
So the problem with this one was the same problem that you sort of have with Ray and Santos. AJ Styles is at the end. AJ Styles is yours and my age. He's 47 as an athlete. He's getting close to the end.
Yeah.
He's still he's phenomenal. He's still phenomenal, but he's again a guy who. What more is there left for him to do? Like, what more is there for him to delve? He put over LA Knight. LA Knight doesn't need anyone to put him over. This is why this didn't work, because neither person needed each other. You don't need AJ Styles to put over LA Knight. You don't need and LA Knight doesn't need to fight AJ Styles. It doesn't do anything for either character. It did nothing. That's the problem with it. That's why it was it was a match. I like both guys, but it didn't matter. You need to get LA Knight in the title scenes. Either if Logan Paul versus LA Knight is bona fide gold. That needs to happen.
That needs to happen, Large. Yes, that needs to happen. That would be really exciting.
Yeah,
because people despise Logan Paul and they love LA Knight, and that'll almost be like a Hogan style, like going back to like, you know, any of them, any of those first 6 WrestleManias, 7 WrestleManias or whatever, where it's like the heel was a real despicable, like, I mean that, because like Logan Paul, people are not impressed with that guy, but actually I'm pretty impressed with Logan Paul, but LA Knight, that'd be sick. So I mean, we knew LA Knight was going to win, and then I remember thinking, I'm like, when I'm watching, I'm like, okay, it's like LA Knight won. I'm like, all right, and he's the new champ. I was like, oh wait a minute, this wasn't even like, what is this?
It wasn't for anything. That was the problem. Like it was meaningless. It was like, okay, he beat up AJ Styles again. AJ Styles has been beaten up a lot lately.
Yeah, that wasn't anything to get excited about. Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. Now, okay. It's a bit goofy in the beginning where they're beating him up. It's like, they both try to pin him. It's like, oh yeah, we have to, only one of us can win. I'm like, guys, why are you pretending? This is the night before we had my logic problem match where I can figure out who's going to win based on just, figuring out the logic problem. And now we have this match where it's like, what, two grown men don't understand the rules of a triple threat match. Like, it's nonsense. And they're like, oh, they're both going to pin him. Oh, wait a minute. And like, oh, they realize that only one of them can win. They're only realizing this now. Like, that's dumb.
That was definitely a miss.
That prime bottle thing.
I will be honest with you. The reason it worked for me was very simple.
Yeah.
First of all, Logan Paul is so outrageous that he if anything works with him almost. The other
Right.
thing is that Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are visually having the most fun they're ever
They're
had.
very fun. Yeah.
And that is why this sort of thing, as stupid as it is, worked. Is because the two guys in the ring are obviously having a hell of a good time doing it, even though it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is why this is one match I thought actually worked very well because of the attitude of all three participants. Logan Paul just being that shifty, nefarious heel, and I love Randy Orton. You're like, yeah, and then Randy Orton goes for the RKO,
That was good.
and the crowd chanting "You fucked up" like that. That was great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really enjoyed this match. Logan Paul needed to win. He did.
Yeah, he needs to win. Yeah,
that's the right call.
I agree.
But I had a hell of a good time watching this match just because of,
and beating up that Prime guy was funny.
Oh, beating up the Prime guy was great. They beat up the water bottle and just like an RKO on the table. I'm like, awesome. Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed this match quite.
Logan Paul's really trying hard.
Yeah. He's bringing it.
Like he's not just showing up and just collecting his paychecks. Like he's really trying. Yeah. He's really trying hard.
I think they have got the perfect character for him, which is obnoxious social media guy.
Yeah.
I think that is his calling. Like that is just what he's doing.
Hey, the one I'm trying to see your avatar.
Yeah.
GAE. All right. Should Michael Cole go in the Hall of Fame? Well, no, because he's not in the Hall of Fame yet, or he's not retired. I don't like people in the Hall of Fame who then continue to wrestle.
Yeah, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he will be in the Hall of Fame, I think, when he's done. No.
Oh, he might be in there before then. Paul Heyman's in the Hall of Fame, and he's still managing.
Yeah, I don't like that. I didn't like that either. Needs to be a heel because personality's face. Yeah, a little baby face last year. Okay. Yeah. Needs to retire.
He's getting up there, so he's close. Yeah.
To me, LA Knight feel like he was holding a pattern on AJ. I agree with that.
Agreed.
Top 10 of all time. Okay. Well, Macho Man's for sure.
Kurt Angle, Bret Hart.
Let's say Bret Hart is pretty good. Ric Flair for sure. Snake is good. Yeah. Well, Macho Man's is my top. I would say Dusty Rhodes is in there for me. Ric Flair for sure is in there. Yeah, Jake the Snake is in there. I actually really like Kurt Angle a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would put him in top 10 though.
Who's RRP?
Bret Hart's awesome. Yeah, Bret Hart is awesome. I would have to really think. I've never really done it.
Well, Macho Man, Ric Flair.
Yep, that's the top two. Dusty Rhodes for me.
Austin for me.
Stone Cold. Yeah, he's pretty awesome, man. Damn. Rock's awesome too.
Hogan.
Oh, Piper.
Yeah.
Piper's in there for sure. Hulk Hogan. Yeah, look, I don't care what anyone says. Listen, I was at that age. I was freaking pumped up for Hulk Hogan. So I can't sit here and retroactively pretend I wasn't excited for Hulk Hogan. That'd be a lie. That would be a terrible lie. I'm not gonna. No, Hulk Hogan's in top 10 for me.
Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake for sure. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
I'd have to.
Jericho for me would be up there.
I really like Chris Jericho. Yeah, Chris Jericho. I also really like Ultimate Warrior, but he's kind of too. I don't know. He's a bit.
So the reason I'm sort of deferring off The Rock and Ultimate Warrior is just because they didn't do it long enough. And Austin, even if someone said to me Austin didn't do it long enough, they would be right. He's an in-betweener. I need someone who did it for a long time.
Let me think. I'd have to think about this. But I think we both agree Macho Man.
Oh, definitely 100%.
Ric Flair for sure.
Yeah.
I would say Mankind or whichever Mick Foley person.
Mick Foley would be in there for sure. Jake the Snake for sure.
Jake the Snake for
Bret
sure.
Hart, I don't see how you say no to Bret Hart.
Yeah, Bret Hart has to be there.
Shawn Michaels
maybe. He is pretty awesome. So those 5, I would throw in Hogan for me. I would throw in Dusty Rhodes for me as well.
Taker.
shit, man, Undertaker. Like, yeah, it might be too tough to do a 10. Piper, I gotta have
Piper.
Piper.
Yeah, you gotta do Piper.
Like Roddy Piper's like one of my favorites.
I put in Jericho. Like Jericho was endlessly entertaining.
Yeah, Chris Jericho, man, he was hilarious.
He's impossible.
Warriors top 10. Yeah, Piper.
Oh, okay. Piper.
Yeah. HBK getting ready for shows. I don't know who they're. Yeah.
He is new. Okay, so Piper for sure. Yes, 100%.
Piper has to be there. Right, yeah, right. Piper has to be there.
Roddy
Piper. Ultimate Warrior. I'm almost there. The problem is that when Ultimate Warrior was coming around, I was now at this age where I started to see that this guy's a bit. This character's weird. Like, I don't get what's going on with him.
It's hard to say because you have to admit that the Warrior had the most legendary promos ever.
Yeah, Dan, the number one first Legionnaire, the Cosmic Boy of the channel.
There you go.
First Legionnaire. I think Cosmic Boy was first, or maybe Lightning Lad was first. I'll ask Clobby. Our first Legionnaire member. Thank you, Dan. It's good to have you on. What time is it? What time is it for you over there? He must be. And I got to show you what I got, brother, because you know, got 2 more Fists of the North Stars. So I know you're plugging away through this, so I'm excited.
I'm almost finished volume 1 myself.
You almost finished one. I finished volume 2 in one sitting. I'm like, I cannot leave until I finish this volume 2. Then I started volume 3, and I finished volume 3 in like two sittings. I'm like, I'm getting scared because I'm going to catch up to where they've released them, and then I'm going to have to wait because the next one's September. The one after that is December. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm not going to be able to wait. You finished volume 1 in one sitting. I know you guys. It's crazy. They're not put Stone Cold. Yeah, dude, what's going on here?
For AEW Beard, Eric Young, LA Knight, the rest honestly and garbage. There you go.
I wasn't there for Bray Wyatt's.
Bray Wyatt was innovative. Like he was undeniably innovative. 0318, gosh.
Bray Wyatt. Yeah, I was not there for his thing, unfortunately.
Logan Paul.
Yeah. LA Knight's good. Yeah. Fist of North Star plugging again. Yeah. Oh yeah. Stop it. FK. Stop it. Okay. Next up, we got Bailey versus Io Sky. Now, was there any doubt that Bailey was like? I mean, there's zero doubt. Bailey to belly, she had a couple of there in backbreakers, moonsaults, kicking out. She rolled out of the. I liked this idea. I like the idea of this happening. It looked slightly weird, and then I wasn't sure where. I like the idea that while she was went through the Rose plant, she rolled into it and came out of it. I thought, that I don't know if
why that didn't work, or it worked, right? But it didn't work. The angle was off because they never showed the impact.
Yeah, she didn't. She didn't take the Rose plant. It's like
her body would have had to go up at an unnatural angle for her to somersault out of that. If you think about it, because she's horizontal,
right?
She has to go vertical, because she didn't just do a roll through. She went up handstand roll through. So that makes no sense from a physics perspective.
Yeah, so you're saying it feels unnatural for her to have done it in the way that she did it.
It was unnatural because if you think about her head is here, right? And her legs are here when she's taking a Rose plant. Right. For her to do what she did, which was a handstand roll through, she would have had to go like this.
Yeah, I got you. I understand what you're saying. I understand exactly what you're saying.
It's literally how did her legs end up in that position?
Right. Yeah. It's almost that was weird. I couldn't tell if that was a botch.
It wasn't a botch.
No, but I thought it's actually a really neat idea because
it's a neat idea. Yes, you're right. It's a neat idea. It's just how she performed it.
Yeah.
But she performed it the only way you could, in my opinion.
Right.
The other thing was the angle was off because Bayley was blocking the camera.
Right.
So you didn't see the full thing.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was off. But
well, I love Bayley, so it's tough for me to it's like even whenever it's like Rhea, Becky, Bayley, whenever they're even Bianca, I have the Bayley glasses on when I watch them. Oh man, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So she's not. The problem is, I mean, I've watched her DVD of. I got with
she's
this figure right there. She's not that Bayley anymore. So she's adjusted her moves or whatever. What do you think? I mean, I don't. Io Sky is just bland to me. She's pretty.
I am not an Io Sky fan. I hate that show tie uppercut cut. I actually hate it. Yeah. Like I cringe when I see it. It looks so awful to me. Like it with someone as acrobatic as her, not being able to throw a proper uppercut is just kind of weird to me.
Like I don't understand what this is. Like it's like you're trying to high five someone the wrong way. It's like you're going like, oh
yeah, like
you're like you're hitting that way. Like
it's just bad. Io Sky never really got over as a villain. I don't know. I hate this. This is weird. Back when we were growing up, there was the foreign villain, and they were just booed because they were not from North America.
Like Nikolai Volkov would just get auto booed because he's a Russian guy.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All these guys. We've matured now to not instinctively think of the foreigner immediately as the villain.
Right.
But they haven't, if you're going to make a foreigner a villain, they have to still do villainous things. Io Sky, Kairi's saying a little bit, but she's probably the best heel of the bunch of them. But Asuka and Io Sky do not look like they know how to be heels. They just don't. They don't. Io Sky is still, and I've said this before 100,000 times, if you're going to be a heel, you cannot play up to the crowd.
Right.
Heel plays up to the crowd every moment of that match. Like she's like, this, like getting people excited for her to do the over the moonsault and all that. You can't do that as a heel. She never connected as a heel. Bayley can do both. I like where she is now because she's a modified version of her heel character instead of becoming a full on, hey, I'm 180. I'm a
hugger again, and all that. Yeah.
She's completely, and I like that. Bayley is great. Bayley is probably the greatest one because she changes, she evolves, and she modifies, but she does it in a smart way.
She is, and she does do that heel thing where you're saying like she'll do all these crappy tactics and not do anything cool and like try to like sneak around and it does. That's what you got to do. But she's a nerdy fan.
Yeah,
like Macho Man's her favorite. Like she's a nerd. Yeah, she's a nerd wrestling person. It's like that kind of, there's those guys you could tell. It's like when Peter Jackson makes Lord of the Rings or something, like, oh, this guy's a nerd who has the talent to make these films.
Yeah.
So it all kind of comes together because it's like you could just see. So she's like a nerd wrestler. So yes, her body is now different.
Yeah.
So she's adjusted herself, but then when she's a heel, she adjusts herself again. And then now she's like kind of the heel, but it's just the same character, but now it's more like she's not a heel. And she didn't go back to the hugger. Like I thought, they're going to play the hugging music and have the pop-up flat things. And
well, I mean, but she still, you notice when she was a heel, she rarely did the Bayley to belly, and she did it a few times here. Like she did call back more so to face Bayley, but still keeping the character she's become, which is the smart way to do it. And that's why I give a ton of kudos to Bayley. She is one of the all-time greatest, 100%.
Yeah, she's awesome. All right, let's catch up a little bit. Did I watch Bray's talk? No, I did not watch the second one. That's hilarious. He's a bit off the wall, but he's entertaining. That's all I care about. For Hogan, he's a major. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I love Hulk Hogan. Okay, cool. How about
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln? Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Macho Man's the best. I think Macho Man's number one.
Like, Warrior had the best promos just because no one knew what he was talking about. And when you did understand it, he was like suggesting he was going to murder people, which was absolutely hilarious. Jake the Snake had the best serious promos. Like,
he's awesome.
Being promo, like he was like that very quiet intensity, and it was just like, and the guy's walking around with a freaking snake, and you're like,
that's sick. Yeah, Jake the Snake is sick.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Hater Warrior has beat Hogan. Yeah. Yes. Cobras. Can I come on? Yeah, okay. Well, Steve and I will talk about it, and then if there's, there should be a little bit of time. I'll throw a link to you. Only the final match. Yeah. We won't have time because I got to finish by 9. So Steve and I are going to talk about it, and I'll let you come in. Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik
example. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect example.
Underrated heel of all time. Yes.
He was.
Oh,
but the problem we had with Kurt Angle when he came out, Nerdman, was not that he was a heel. It's that the crowd made him a heel.
Right.
And we struggled with that. And then he became a heel because of how he was getting the reactions, but it didn't make any sense to us.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay. And I agree. Talk back to crowds. Yeah, for sure. And remember, for us in the world, that much as Rock. Established Eddie, Jericho, talented guys. Eddie Guerrero is awesome too. Yeah. What about El Santo and Blue Demon? Come on. Okay. Oh no, my number one favorite wrestler is Elektra Lopez. I'm sorry, I forgot.
There you go.
She's my number one favorite. Everyone else, Macho Man is trash. If you had, who would I rather meet?
Who would you rather have your picture taken? A big sweaty man or Elektra Lopez?
Yeah, like stop it, guys. It's crazy. Yeah, all right. Cody versus Roman Reigns. The thing is, well, I like Cody Rhodes, period. I'm not going to defend that. But B, the problem is that wrestling is still a story.
Yeah.
It's like any other story or a comic book or a team book. You might have an X-Men book and you might think, well, I really like Rogue, or I really like Nightcrawler, or I really like Cyclops, or I really like Jean, and I don't really care too much about, Colossus or something, or I don't care. I'm not saying this.
No,
I'm just picking characters. I love Colossus, but I'm just picking guys, right? But it's like wrestling.
All right.
If the storyline in X-Men is building up to where, Wolverine needs to finally defeat Sabretooth because Sabretooth has just been slaughtering everybody, blah, blah, blah. And then Wolverine loses, you're like, well, what the hell was that all about? Right? So if you took Spider-Man and had a 14 or one, let's say it was a year and a half long Kraven the Hunter. Kraven is attacking everybody. He attacks Mary Jane. He attacks Aunt May. He attacks even the former Spider-Man villains. Like, okay, he goes after like Rhino, and he goes after all these guys. And Spider-Man's like, God damn it, I've got to stop Kraven. And then it's like, it's like finally, it's like, all right, Kraven, this comes to an end. And then Spider-Man loses. Right? That's the problem. And that's what happened with Cody. So you're like, really? Well, that's where I'm at. So he had to win.
He did. But this is going to be very controversial because last year I hated how WrestleMania ended. But here's the thing. I am not saying they planned this. I don't believe they planned it like this. I actually don't believe they planned it. I think they planned Rock versus Roman. And I think the crowd forced them to have Cody finish the story. Neither would I, Brian.
Hell yes to that.
In fact, it would take you 3 days just to get the smile off my face.
Yeah.
Top secret. Anyhow, I think that just by sheer luck, by circumstance, by them being smart enough to pivot, however you want to say it, this worked. Because it felt like more. And if they'd done it last year, it wouldn't have felt the same. It wouldn't have felt
That's true.
I do think that the match was constructed amazingly. Start off with the two of them fighting a regular match, You have Jimmy come out, and his counterpart Jay comes out.
Right.
They have a little thing, they go off. Then you have Solo come out. That makes sense. He's the next guy. Guys, I hate the thumb. I cannot stand the thumb. It's just like a thumb. I'm like, no. I love Matt Riddle saying he was going to tape up his toe, and then it'd be like the bro toe or whatever. I think that is like bring that Riddle back, please. Like anyhow,
yeah.
So Sikoa does his thing. John Cena comes back. John Cena got his last match was against Solo Sikoa. There's payback. Cool. Rock gets rid of Rock faces off with Cena. That's great because they had that whole history.
Yeah.
Then it got weird when they brought in Seth Rollins, and I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, Shield and all that started coming in.
It's just like it's one guy, so it's not really the Shield. But anyhow, he did become Cody Shield though.
Yeah.
In the match. The one place that I think they missed, and this is going to sound weird, they had the Undertaker come out. Undertaker's great. When the Undertaker's gong sound, I literally thought the entire audience was going to, they lost their minds.
They lost their mind, yeah.
From a story point standpoint, though, I would have preferred to have Austin come out. And Austin was there. Austin is The Rock's greatest rival, I think, in my opinion. And both guys would agree.
Right.
I would have preferred that. But if you have Austin come out, again, you have to have the beers and and all that, and it would have taken forever. Undertaker can just show up in the dark, choke slam, and disappear.
Yes.
So I guess it worked, but from a storyline standpoint, Rock versus Taker doesn't have the same feel as Austin versus Rock. But he took out The Rock, which is what everyone wanted to see, because The Rock had been abusing seniors and like beating people with belts and just being like a psychopath. So you needed to see that. And then Cody goes over Roman, which you need to happen. Roman's going to go away again. Maybe he comes back and competes. Maybe he doesn't. Cody gets his emotional thing. Samantha Irwin couldn't even announce it properly.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy.
Michael Cole was crying. Like everyone was crying because say what you want about Cody Rhodes, the man loves professional wrestling. Yeah. He loves what he does. And he loved it enough that he walked away from a guaranteed job with WWE to start his own wrestling brand. You cannot deny that. If you can deny anything else, you don't like the character, you think he's generic and all that, that's cool. But you cannot deny the man himself loves what he does, and that love is infectious. You want to cheer for Cody Rhodes. Not just because of his legacy, but because of what he stands for the business.
Right.
Cody Rhodes, at least from what I know, stands for everything that is good in professional.
Yeah, he cares. And so, yeah, you do want to see someone who cares, at least. Yeah. At least get it. So that's kind of cool. And I mean, I got pumped up. Look, maybe it's slightly contrived. Like, it's like, here's this guy. Oh, here's this guy. And then I thought Batman's going to show up then, and then Superman's going to show up. And then but I think Roman also was more like, look, if I'm going to go down, this better be massively epic. Like, I was thinking, like, is Hulk Hogan going to show up now? And like, I didn't.
You needed it to be to that level because
so Nerd Man, I sent you a link. You're going to come on here and be all pissy. I know. When Nerd Man comes on, while Nerd Man is talking, we'll put this on the screen. You can pick between who you want on the screen while Nerd Man talks. We could do Elektra Lopez or we could do Nikita Lyons.
Is there a way to make them both appear at the same time?
No, it would break the internet. It would break the stream. The stream would be broken. So in order to digest what Nerd Man has to say, we'll leave Nikita Lyons. Okay, Nerd Man is in the Nerd Man. Nerd Man is in the back. Before I bring him in, guys, please make sure you check out Steven's books. That's his author's page, and the links all go to Amazon, so you can get his different stories. There's no wrestling books, but he writes a lot of fiction. We'll talk about it in a minute. And Hot Takes, Nerdman is what we call him. He's that's his channel as well. So let's bring in Nerdman. How's it going, dude?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been an enjoyable stream.
Thank you. So I was just finishing up. So look, it was contrived, but I got caught up into it. And my thing is that
I think
Roman Reigns
caught up in it, but I'll let you finish. But I'm not
yeah.
To say I don't think there's anything wrong with getting swept up in this. It's
okay.
Just and Cody is not even the worst. Although the fact that Stardust is now WWE champion and Kofi Kingston has been WWE champion just says the world to me about the generation of wrestling. When somebody like Rowdy Piper, someone like Jake the Snake, people like Mr. Perfect couldn't become champion back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, great, charismatic, in-ring, you know, like what's his name? My boy Ravishing Rick Rude.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, he was awesome.
These guys have more charisma in their, you know, two nipples than you know, Seth Rollins has in his whole freaking body. You know, like what I'm saying. And it's
the classic guys were so crazy.
And then I'll
no. So it's I was just like, so I got caught up in it, but also the thing is that if you step back and look at it from a writing perspective, they pumped up Cody Rhodes so much that he had to win because if he loses and Roman Reigns continues, who are they going to pump up for another 2 years to beat? Like, so I don't know if you were transitioning into the stream when I was talking about my let's say my Spider-Man example. If you set up like a comic book storyline with Craven, you know, oh, he beats up Mary Jane, oh, he beats up Aunt May, oh, he kills the Vulture and he kills Mysterio and he's killing all the and he's becoming the best villain ever. And then Spider-Man, after 12 or 13 issues, finally it confronts him and then he loses. You're like, what the hell was that? Right? Like, it'd just be weird. So the problem is that they wrote themselves in such a way that Cody Rhodes has to win, because if he doesn't win, how can they invest so much more story into another guy to take Roman out later? That's the problem. They invested in him, right?
Here's the problem with the win. Okay. And I get what you're saying. Absolutely. They did the exact right thing in terms of that wrestling match. Technically speaking, what they booked, even though it's like very, very overbooked and whatever.
a little bit overbooked.
No, I was there for it.
Like everyone showed up. I was going to show up. I forgot. I was going to drive down to WrestleMania and show up and help them win.
Yeah, like when Undertaker, when that happened, that was you know, that was peak, man. That was peak.
That was awesome.
And you know, Rock's reactions, you can never get enough of, like.
Oh, he's Rock, so funny.
His facial reactions to things are beautiful. You know, he sells it so well.
Yeah.
So the story was fine, right? The problem is this guy's gimmick is this story.
Right.
So what does he do now? Now he's WWE champion. What does he do? Because his promos aren't interesting. His wrestling matches are good. I'll give him that. He's got you know, some good in-ring style, but he doesn't really have in-ring charisma necessarily. What's this guy gonna do? Is he gonna come on every week? Oh, let me ask you what should we talk about? You know, like what is he gonna do? How is he gonna entertain as WWE? And this isn't Cody Rhodes' fault. He's just not WWE championship material. He's not face of the company material. They need to understand something. I don't know at what point Vince McMahon, or I don't know who came up with this idea at a certain point.
I don't know.
That they could just book anyone to be that guy. Right? There's a reason Hulk Hogan was so popular, you know, as WWE champion and face of that company. There's a reason for that. It's not just, oh, we booked him strong and he, suddenly just,
I see
it's
what you're saying.
because
Yeah.
he had unfathomable charisma, right? On the, when it came to the mic, when it
Yeah.
came to, and this is another problem I have with this kind of generation of, none of these guys have fucking gimmicks. Like, apart from, Logan Paul, maybe LA Knight, a couple of others. So what happens is the only way, so for instance, Rock is doing promos against like these guys, and it's like he has to go personal. He has to go Rock still stays professional, and he still tries to keep it within the realm of like
Right.
breaking fourth wall and stuff like that. But what tends to happen is this kind of CM Punk kind of route where people start getting personal with each other and, bringing in things that don't really matter to character
Right.
because there's nothing to put over. So, for instance, when Rock was facing Mankind, he could insult him and say like make him look like the lowest scum on the earth and whatever. But the way he would cut those promos was against the gimmick. He wasn't cutting promos against Mick
Right.
Foley and his family, and he was cutting promos against the character, which was actually putting the character over, right?
Yeah.
Like, as much as people used to say like The Rock used to just insult people, and that's not what heels are supposed to do. They're supposed to bring the baby face up.
Right.
Actually, what he was doing usually was putting these gimmicks over, but he has no gimmick to put over with Seth Rollins, and all he can say is the truth, that you are a clown show, and you come out here dressing, flamboyant and whatever, like Gorgeous George, and you're calling yourself a baby. But and to be fair to Seth Rollins, I have no problems with the way he dresses, because I think Macho Man dressed flamboyant. A number, of other wrestlers dressed flamboyant. Problem with him, he's not them, and so when he dresses flamboyant, it doesn't come off like cool. It comes off like, because you've got no gimmick, you're trying to create some pomp or charisma. You're trying to create some pomp and circumstance about you to make yourself stand out, and you can't, because
I think we're in different. Like, see, you're an old school guy like Steven and I, and like people somewhere along the line, people stopped thinking of this as these characters. Like, to me, like, I loved $1 Million Man. Oh, he's the guy who can just buy the stuff and he'd buy the belt, and then you're like, oh, that's not fair. So he was a guy. And then I don't know when it changed. Like, Austin, Rock were the last of this kind of like, go ahead, Steve. Yeah, go ahead.
Kayfabe. It was the death of the curtain, right? Like, it was the death. Like, we all knew these guys were all friends backstage, and that, like, the belief in, Hogan was there and this was a monumental thing, beating Andre the Giant, who'd never been defeated and all that. I mean, there was the outrageous era, right? Rock and roll wrestling era, where you had Hogan, and then you had that transitional era where they didn't really know how to move. So they went with Bret Hart, because at least they had a committed guy who was really good in the ring. He was okay on the mic, but everyone was popular with him, right? But then you had the Attitude Era, and Austin was the face of that. And I think now, Nerdman, what we're finding is, what is this era? The PG era. But what does that mean? What is your thing? And I think it's just like the death of kayfabe, the death of believing in these outrageous characters anymore. They're trying to go for more,
I understand that, and you can go back to certain wrestling eras where they were like, oh, they wanted it to be more realistic. Certain territories where you wouldn't have a gimmick, say like the $1 Million Man,
right?
But still, even then, even in the more realistic, like pre WCW, like what do you call it, or NWA or whatever,
NWA,
era, you see these wrestlers, even then they had like some slight distinction, something about them, right, that people could lean into, that was their character, right? And it was a character, because wrestling is ultimately is this, right? You know how boxing only every once in a while has a Muhammad Ali or a Mike Tyson?
Yes.
Right? Wrestling is the brilliant kind of thing where you're like, oh, well, because it's fixed, we can have Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali, and, Eubanks and all of these characters all the time.
All the time,
we don't need to, because we can decide based on how crowds are reacting to these people.
Yeah.
Who is, who should, be champion or who should be, and that's the great kind of thing about wrestling. And that's what it should be there for. Like, these guys should entertain us. It shouldn't just be like, oh, Paul Levesque has decided that, because of whatever reason, because of what's his name? This Seth Rollins reminds him of Shawn Michaels, so he's decided to take him under his wing and blah blah blah. If he gets crowd reaction, and you should go off the crowd reaction of how they feel about Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins is a better heel, for instance. I really do. I think him as a baby face, maybe, because his gimmick, ultimately, if there is a gimmick with Seth Rollins, and I know because I've got some stuff about like Rock's cousin as well. But his gimmick, if there is a gimmick, is that he does all these high flying moves and flips and stuff, right? That's his gimmick. But the problem is that's not a gimmick anymore.
No,
that was a gimmick in the new era. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart and whatever could do that about like, oh, this is our gimmick, that we're just really, really good wrestlers, right? Because they had all those big, giant, jacked up guys who weren't good, who weren't like, master technicians in the ring. So they stood out, and that could work as a gimmick then. Plus, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels actually had some kind of, even if it wasn't, they were great on the mic, they had this weird kind of cool charisma about them, right?
You have to.
Yeah, go on.
No, you know what's interesting? I was thinking about this and reading the chat while you were talking. In the days when we were younger, let's say you bought these toys, because I know Steven had a lot of the toys, and I was thinking, Nerdman, you're making some good points. Like, if right now, I mean, obviously I own figures, but I don't like play with them. But if I was going to play with them, how would I fight them? Like, back in the, like, okay, so let's say, I don't know, God, let's say you had, I don't know, $1 Million Man toy, and you had Jimmy Superfly or something. You just pick. So you'd be like, oh, Jimmy Superfly is always going to jump and do a big, huge splash move and all this, right? And then $1 Million Man would try to like escape and go outside the ring and take a breather and then come back in and then try to get the dream. So it's like, as a kid, you knew these characters, who they were, and then you would enact those matches. You could do your own matches, right? But if you had a Cody Rhodes figure and a Seth Rollins figure, and you're going to have a match, how would you play?
Style?
How would you play that match? Oh, you'd be like, I guess to just fight each other. Like, I don't know. Like, there's no, and then how would you cut a promo? Like, if I went to Steve's place as kids and I had Superfly in my hand and you had $1 Million Man, you'd be like, it's like, oh, it's like, I'm better than you. It's like, you're just like, from some island or whatever. It's like, oh, I'll get you. And it's like, you could act out you could act it out and all that. Like, if you had the warrior figure, you'd be like, I will destroy you, the warriors, the power of the warriors. And Hulkamaniac would run wild and you would know what they were going to say. And then this one, you don't really know. Like, if you had the Rick Rude toy, you'd be like, ooh, I'm like, so perfect and all that. Right. So it's interesting. Yeah. Like, I don't know what kids, cause they do sell a lot of these toys and I wonder how kids play with them. Like, it'd be interesting.
They don't have a context for wrestling before. So to them, this is the shit. And I get that. It's like old generation, new things happen. So, but to them, this is it. Like, this is. I was watching this thing on this guy who was like adamant that, he grew up probably just after the Attitude Era.
Right.
And he's adamant. He was like incensed that the Animal Batista and what was his name? Who was the contemporary of him? This guy who does the RKO, Randy Orton.
Oh, Randy Orton. Yeah.
He was incensed that like that Macho Man and Rowdy Piper were put over those two in a top 50 list of WWE wrestlers of all time. And it's like, I can get that because, like, I'm thinking back now and I'm like, when we were younger, if anyone had told us, like, Buddy Rogers
Right.
or,
Yes.
or what's this pencil neck geek guy who was amazing, by the way. I'm trying to remember his name.
But pick anyway, Bob Backlund or something, or any of those guys.
Nick Bockwinkel.
Nick Bockwinkel, all of those guys. If anybody had told us, like, wow, those guys are better than Hulk Hogan and Macho Man.
I'd lose my mind. I'd be like, are you crazy?
Yeah, exactly.
We would have taken one look at, like, a promo of theirs or, like, a wrestling match of theirs and would have been like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. So I completely understand that, but I still think Freddie Blassie, exactly, who was one of my favorite. He's in my, like, top 15. I go back to his stuff, and he even inspired Muhammad Ali. So, like, that's how great a talker he was. But I go back. What was I saying?
So like when you said the different generations. A guy growing up now would be like, "How dare you say Macho Man or Ric Flair is better than like that's insane." Like, they're not better than Seth Rollins. You're insane, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Especially if they went back and looked at the way the matches looked back then. I mean, you look at a Macho Man match now in comparison with these gymnastic flipping stuntmen going through tables and all of this stuff. It just it doesn't seem quite as dynamic, but I still think the problem you have now, I'm sure some of these guys could be really great if they got a gimmick. And I'm not talking about some crazy, like, Undertaker, or some wild out there gimmick, but they need some kind of hook to get them into a personality or into a mode. And they don't need to be great talkers. I don't think not all my favorite wrestlers were, like, massively, like, great promo or great talker kind of guys. Like,
right.
So, for instance, like Brock Lesnar, right? That's a gimmick, right? When he first came in, he was, as his gimmick, it was this monster athlete, right? Who just could, was so much more athletic than anybody else, faster, stronger, and that was his gimmick, right?
Right.
And you could play off that gimmick. You could cut a promo against that gimmick. You could react to that gimmick as another wrestler.
Yeah, not resort to saying, "Oh, Brock Lesnar, your family's, why do you live? Why do you have a farm? What are you, an idiot? You're a farmer." Like, it's like now they make fun of the wrestlers' actual real life. That's a CM Punk thing, is what you're saying. See, I wasn't around to see that happen. We're in the product of it right now.
The pipe bomb, the infamous pipe bomb.
Is that okay? So there you go.
Which basically he peeled back the curtain.
And
I think people get a charge out of that because it shows the real life conflict that sometimes shows up in the ring, sometimes doesn't. I mean, one of the best feuds that happened was Edge versus Matt Hardy in recent times, because Edge legit slept with Matt Hardy's girlfriend.
Right. So they were not.
And that's what they lost.
Yeah, but he still turned that into a gimmick. He turned that into the Rated R Superstar, right?
Right.
He turned it into an angle, a gimmick. It still got to the point where, even though it was real, they managed to make the argument, the tension between them, a fiction. The same thing happened with Angle and that guy Double J, who was one of my least favorite wrestlers of all time.
But Jay came out and met us. I met Double J in the exit of a hotel, and he stopped the car and came out to talk to. There's maybe 7 or 8 of us, and he came out and talked to us. This is crazy. It was after hey, Comic Vet, what's going on, dude? Chris.
Hey, Comic Vet.
So we went. I'll say this, then we got to end. I was at an event when I was younger, and the wrestlers. So we stayed behind after hours, and we went to the back of the arena. And because the wrestlers, everyone was saying, oh, the wrestlers are staying at this hotel that was like, you know, a couple blocks down the road. So I stood there, and wrestlers came out and drove out, and I saw Razor Ramon, Yokozuna,
nice,
and in the car with Fuji, like they're in. So I tapped on the window to Razor Ramon, and Razor Ramon gave me the peace sign. He's like, peace. I love Razor Ramon. So
Razor Ramon was great.
So and then yeah, so dude, check this out. The next car that came out was Double J. So we tapped on his window. He said he stopped the car. He fucking came out of the car. We're like, what the hell? And he goes, my fans in Toronto. He goes, are you all gonna buy my new hit single? We're like, yeah, we're gonna get it. There was like 10. There was like 8. I'm telling you, there was like 10 of us maximum. Cool. 10 of us maximum. Like there was like a big thing. And he was like, yeah, you guys like, and we're like, we came back, and me and my buddy, we came back, we're like, Double J's our favorite wrestler. This is so funny because like we hated him. We're like, he's terrible, he's cheesy, the strut and the chance is so stupid. And then we came back out, we're like, this guy's my favorite wrestler because he spoke to us. It was so good. Oh, he met Razor. That's great.
Yeah, man. Razor was
he's awesome. Great. I wanted to say one more thing before.
Last thing, and then I gotta end it. Yep.
And this is a very telling to me about Roman Reigns, right? Because again, his gimmick is, as much as at least he's got something, I guess, with this high chief head of the table.
High chief head of the table.
Really, his gimmick for the last 2 years has been that he's champion. Right. And he can be super arrogant because he's champion.
Right.
That's it. This head of the chief, all of that kind of stuff is just nonsense. Because like when Rock came in and he said, oh, you know, you're my tribal chief, nobody bought that.
Right. Yeah, no way.
No.
Right, and he never said it again, right? Like,
yeah.
But one thing that was very telling for me that just showed me, look, these kids haven't been trained properly. They don't know what they're doing, and they're just there, you know, either because like their family, they have something like, you know, like Dusty Rhodes or somebody in their family, you know, nepotism basically. So Rock and Roman are doing an interview, right? And you could tell Rock's an old school guy from this. And they're doing an interview. I think it was, you know, one of the late night shows. Roman starts talking about the match the next night after the Rock has been doing most of the interview, because I guess Roman was, you know, not used to that kind of thing. Right. And but Roman starts talking about the match, and he says to the interviewer, like, oh, you know, well, you know, I don't know what this guy's problem is. I already beat him last year. You know, he's coming back. And I him again. And Rock kind of looked for a moment, and he was like, oh, no. These guys, you know, I want to explain really, like, because what this is like this guy is like Luke Skywalker, right? He's the pure, you know, and he had to sell, you know, Cody Rhodes because Roman is just.
I remember this too.
This match isn't going to be interesting because I'm, you know, I've already beat this guy, and
yeah. So you're telling it's like, yeah, that's not good. You're making me less excited. You're like, oh yeah, you already did beat him. Why am I watching this again? Right? Like, yeah.
You need to hype it up, not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like like who knows what's going to happen? You know, like that's what the Rock, and that's what you realize is that. Even though the Rock, whose gimmick was basically I'm an arrogant bastard who doesn't think anything about anybody, he just thinks I'm the greatest and everybody else is a piece of trash.
Right.
In his words. Right. Even he, with that gimmick, understood that, you know, like within that, you have to still hype the guy up.
Right.
It's almost possible to do that with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, because again, they have no gimmick. The gimmick is the story.
Well, we have to see what's going to happen now going forward with Cody Rhodes. I'll finish up Raw. I probably won't finish it tonight. I'll finish it up probably tomorrow. But yeah, all in all, so the ratings were up there. Let's take a look at the poll, and then we're going to shut it down. So 20 votes, 55% gave it a 5 out of 5, 30% gave it a 4 out of 5, 5% gave it a 3 out of 5, and 10% gave it a 2 out of 5.
Guess who was that 10%?
As I guess that was you.
Well, it had to be 2 people for 10%.
If we got so someone else was with you, right? Exactly, because there's 20 votes exactly. So someone else was with you on that one.
Was there a promo in any of in any of WrestleMania? Just like somebody doing a promo?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't recall.
What's happened to that, bro? I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't know. They haven't done that. It was mostly just commercials. Listen, we don't need more time to add on to this runtime already.
I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying what happened to like promo before the match. Right? Like,
that's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Now they just do a video package.
Yeah, they just do a video package. Yeah, you're that. I don't remember that for a long time. So, all right, everybody. Well, the link to Steve's channel, the link to Steve and Nerdman's stuff is in every video I do because I just put their links in everything I do because I'm just that nice. So check them out. I did put the links in the chat as well. So check out Nerdman's channel. Check out Steve's books. And guys, this Thursday, Transformers, the end of season 2. This Friday, Fantastic Fridays, 4 more issues of Fantastic Four. So hopefully we'll see you there. That's it, everybody. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Nerdman, for popping in. That was great. Thanks to the chat. Thanks to all the Legionnaires. You guys are awesome. That is it. I thanked everybody. Thank you to Electra Lopez and Nikita Lyons. All right. Until next time, folks.
Hey, friends. You've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.